The whole garage hummed with skepticism as the boss grinned and declared, "Let the 16-year-old give it a shot." Olivia Turner, smeared with grease yet exuding an unwavering confidence, approached the lifeless engine that had stumped even the most seasoned mechanics. Anticipation hung heavy in the air, with many bracing for a misstep, a chuckle, or a swift downfall. In a surprising twist, Olivia unveiled a secret that left the entire crew in shock, altering the trajectory of that day for good. What she understood would rattle them and their convictions to the very foundation. Before we dive in, please give this video a thumbs up and let us know your location in the comments. Your support enables us to share even more impactful narratives. Let us commence. The garage was saturated with the pungent aroma of oil and metal, the soft drone of machinery blending with the whispers of the crew as they congregated around the lifeless engine that had defied attempts to start for days. It was a contraption so obstinate that every specialist who attempted to repair it left, with a bewildered shake of their head. Today, an unexpected event was on the verge of unfolding. The tall figure of Greg Harrison, the boss, exuded confidence as he wore a smirk, his gaze drifting toward the young girl who stood silently by the doorway. At just 16, Olivia Turner exuded a quiet resolve that set her apart from everyone else in the garage. Her hands, slick with grease, bore the marks of diligent labor, yet her eyes shone with a steadfast determination. From a young age, she absorbed knowledge from her father, observing his meticulous work on engines with a level of patience that was rare to find. Nevertheless, in spite of all the teachings, the seasoned mechanics continued to view her merely as a child. Greg's voice pierced the noise of conversation. "Let the 16-year-old give it a shot," he remarked, his voice laced with skepticism. The group erupted in laughter. It wasn't that Olivia was uninvited, rather it was the belief that she lacked the capability to tackle the insurmountable. The engine lay silent, its lifelessness stretching back into the depths of memory, far beyond what anyone could recall. Every mechanic who attempted was confronted with exasperation, and a few even abandoned the task in despair. This was the pinnacle of challenges. Olivia advanced, her hands unwavering. The laughter dwindled, leaving the room steeped in an atmosphere of increasing intrigue. The atmosphere crackled with intensity. While the crowd braced for the expected downfall, Olivia stood apart as a remarkable teenager. She crouched low, her fingers dancing with familiarity, navigating the intricate maze of wires and metallic parts. She whispered to herself, dissecting every nuance that others had overlooked. Her understanding ran profound, a fusion of intuition and countless years spent observing her father's relentless dedication. She recalled tales of ancient machines that demanded not only expertise, but also a deep sense of instinct. She understood that this was not a matter of sheer strength or random speculation. This was about grasping the essence of the machine. Time slipped away. The air thickened with tension as the crew huddled closer, captivated and unable to tear their gaze away. The supervisor, maintaining his doubts, folded his arms across his chest. Olivia delved into the engine, meticulously adjusting a small component that had been neglected. Her fingers quivered just a bit, yet her gaze remained keen. With meticulous care, she joined the wires, her thoughts swiftly navigating the vast knowledge she had acquired. In an instant, the engine roared to life, a resonant, powerful noise that enveloped the garage in a sense of optimism. The sound resonated through the air, a long-awaited signal that the machine had awakened once more. The crew inhaled sharply. Greg's eyes grew large with astonishment. The unthinkable had occurred. Olivia rose gradually, brushing the perspiration from her brow. Her smile held a subtle triumph. She had not merely repaired the engine, she had transformed the very limits of what was deemed achievable. The revelation she shared was more than merely a technical solution. It stemmed from countless hours of commitment, fervor, and a steadfast confidence in her own abilities. In that instant, the garage transformed. What was once a realm of uncertainty transformed into a domain of admiration and fresh opportunities. Olivia Turner had transcended her identity as merely the mechanic's daughter. She was the artisan who had conquered the unthinkable. Yet this was merely the start. What Olivia disclosed to the crew would set in motion a chain of events that none of them could have foreseen. The true essence of that engine transcended mere wires and metal. The narrative unfolded with bravery, expertise, and an obstacle that would push all to their boundaries. As the crew started to converge around her, their gazes brimming with admiration, Olivia realized that this moment would be etched in memory for all time. The once unattainable had become attainable. The young girl demonstrated the strength of conviction, understanding, and unwavering determination. The engine thundered to life, heralding a fresh beginning for the garage and all who gathered within its walls. However, what unfolded next would leave the entire crew in utter disbelief. The hidden truth Olivia possessed was on the verge of revealing a profound reality that would transform lives far beyond the confines of the garage. This was more than a triumph against a machine. It marked a triumph over uncertainty, trepidation, and all the constraints they had encountered throughout their journey. Olivia's tale had only just begun. Indeed, this was merely the start, and every gaze in that garage was now fixed on her, anticipating her next action. The challenge was accepted, yet the path forward held even more astonishing revelations. The boss cleared his throat, advancing with a newfound respect in his tone. He spoke softly, acknowledging your unique achievement that set you apart from everyone else. The crew exchanged glances, their previous mirth giving way to a profound sense of wonder. Olivia smiled, yet beneath the surface, she was acutely aware that her journey was far from over. The day that began with uncertainty concluded with hope. A vow that the unattainable could be overcome, and that the future was reserved for those bold enough to have faith. The engine roared to life, yet something far more significant was awakening alongside it. A fresh tale, a renewed optimism, and a legendary figure emerging from the depths of that garage. As the engine sprang to life with a powerful roar, an overwhelming sense of wonder filled the garage. Each expression revealed a narrative. Some were steeped in incredulity, others radiated admiration, while a select few masked a quiet jealousy. Olivia Turner stood tall, the dirt on her hands now a mark of pride. She had not only demonstrated her capabilities, but also broken through the unseen divide that separates youth from experience. Yet beneath her serene facade, a tempest of resolve simmered. This was not merely a matter of repairing a device. It was about reshaping her fate. Greg Harrison, the leader who had challenged her to take a chance, remained contemplative. Throughout his years, he had encountered numerous skilled mechanics, yet Olivia stood apart from the rest. The manner in which she grasped the engine's cadence, how her thoughts flowed like a perfectly calibrated device. This was an extraordinary occurrence. Gradually, the doubt in his gaze faded, giving way to a surprising respect. He came to understand that this young girl was more than merely the mechanic's daughter. She was a powerful presence capable of defying the established norms. As the crew started to murmur among themselves, Olivia's thoughts surged with intensity. She understood that this triumph was merely the first step. The engine she had brought back to life was the toughest obstacle the garage had encountered in years. However, there was additional depth. The garage was a repository of mysteries, intricate challenges that had bested even the most skilled craftsmen. Olivia stood poised, prepared to face them all. She aimed to demonstrate that talent transcended both age and experience. It revolved around passion, understanding, and unwavering dedication. A shift enveloped the surroundings. The garage, previously shrouded in uncertainty, now thrummed with vibrant energy. Mechanics who had dismissed her just moments before were now eager to seek Olivia's counsel. They regarded her as a guiding light, an emblem that the unattainable could be approached with perseverance and fervor. The walls resonated with a fresh sense of determination, the whir of machinery intertwining with uplifting words. However, Olivia's triumph had captured interest that extended far beyond the confines of the garage. The word of her triumph spread swiftly, finding its way to those who did not always greet it with open arms. Some viewed her as a danger to their meticulously protected roles. The tale of a 16-year-old, mending what others deemed irreparable, was both uplifting and disconcerting for those who held tightly to convention. Olivia felt the palpable tension. In the air, yet she stood her ground, unyielding to intimidation. Her concentration stayed steadfast. She dedicated countless hours to her studies, exploring and absorbing knowledge. Every engine, every shattered component, transformed into a challenge she was resolute in unraveling. The garage transformed into her place of learning, her arena of struggle, and her refuge. The crew observed her evolution from a budding apprentice to a skilled mechanic, a person who grasped the essence of machines as though they were an integral part of her being. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the garage fell into a hush, Greg beckoned Olivia to step aside. His tone carried a weight of seriousness, yet maintained a sense of respect. He remarked that you possess something truly unique. Beyond mere skill, there lies a profound perspective. This garage requires more than just technical expertise. It requires visionaries. Olivia absorbed every word, a wave of pride intertwining with a sense of duty. She understood that her journey had transcended the personal realm. It was about molding the future of this space, this group, and the heritage of the art. Yet, obstacles loomed ahead. She faced disdain from competing garages, skepticism from customers, and the weight of old traditions that clung to the past. Olivia understood that she needed to summon every ounce of her strength. The path before her was unpredictable, laden with challenges that would not only challenge her abilities, but also her bravery and spirit. The revelation that had breathed life back into the lifeless engine transcended mere technical solutions. It represented a profound change, a liberation from the constraints set by others. Olivia stood poised to drive that transformation, eager to motivate a fresh wave of mechanics who would strive for nothing short of greatness. In the dimming glow, encircled by instruments and echoes of triumphs and defeats, Olivia experienced a profound sense of mission. The engine's roar transcended mere sound, a rallying cry for engagement. The young mechanic had stirred a power that demanded attention. The events that followed would shape her journey for all time. The garage had transformed into something more than merely a workspace. The platform was set for aspirations, challenges, and victories. Olivia Turner stood poised to confront the challenges ahead, fueled by an enigmatic strength that left the crew in awe and hinted at a transformative future. The adventure had only just begun. Each moment, each challenge would challenge her determination. Yet one thing remained undeniable. Olivia's narrative had reached a point of no return, captivating the attention of the entire globe. The subsequent days ushered in a tempest of transformation and trials. Olivia Turner had transcended her identity as merely the mechanic's daughter who tackled an impossible engine. She emerged as a beacon of creativity and unwavering determination. The garage became a fierce arena, where old customs met innovative concepts. With Olivia positioned at the heart of it all, bold and prepared. Her hands, previously quaking with doubt, now glided with assurance and accuracy. Every engine she touched responded with eager compliance, and the crew started to recognize her not merely as a colleague, but as a guiding force. However, this transformation was not embraced by all. Amidst the murmurs and furtive looks, some sensed a looming threat. Veterans of the industry, having dedicated years to their craft, struggled to embrace a young woman who dared to question the established conventions. They scrutinized her techniques, disregarded her perspectives, and cast shadows on her competence. Yet Olivia understood that this struggle was an integral part of her path. The more they resisted, the more resolute she grew in her quest to demonstrate that talent, expertise, and fervor could dismantle even the most formidable barriers. One afternoon, a significant upheaval rattled the garage. A distinguished client presented a classic engine that had bested every mechanic in the area. No one had the courage to take on the challenge presented before them. The stakes were high for both the client and the garage, with reputations hanging in the balance. Greg Harrison faced Olivia, his expression a blend of anticipation and uncertainty. "This is your moment," he declared. "You are the one who can resolve this issue." The weight of expectation was overwhelming. The whole team assembled, their gazes locked onto her. Time appeared to stand still as she scrutinized the elaborate components, her thoughts racing through every piece of knowledge she had acquired. The intricacies of the engine were daunting, Yet Olivia's resolve was even more formidable. She toiled into the depths of the night, scrutinizing, refining, and testing her ideas. Each of her movements exuded precision, calculation, and unwavering confidence. Gradually, the engine started to react. The obstinate device, previously mute and inert, began to emit a gentle hum, escalating into a powerful roar of vitality. The crew burst into applause, their doubts transformed into admiration. Olivia had achieved what many believed could not be done once more. This triumph transcended mere technical accomplishment, a pivotal moment that forever altered the essence of the garage. Customers began to flock in large numbers, excited to witness the young mechanic who was transforming the standard of excellence. The media took notice of her achievements, and before long, Olivia Turner was a name that represented excellence and innovation. However, with recognition arrived fresh challenges. Anticipations reached new heights, and each setback, regardless of its insignificance, was amplified. Even with the surge of interest, Olivia stayed humble. She understood that her path was not driven by the pursuit of recognition, but by the desire to shatter limitations and motivate those around her. She took on the role of guiding younger apprentices, imparting her wisdom and enthusiasm to those who aspired to reach great heights. The garage transformed into a sanctuary for creativity, welcoming individuals of all ages and experiences. Olivia's leadership was cultivating a fresh culture, one founded on respect, innovation, and diligence. Yet the most significant obstacle was still on the horizon. A competing garage, infamous for its merciless strategies and fierce rivalry, perceived Olivia's ascent as a danger. They initiated intense efforts to tarnish her image and attract her clientele. Whispers and unfounded claims circulate rapidly. It was a trial of integrity that required far more than mere technical ability. Olivia faced these challenges with insight, strength, and steadfast honesty. Amidst everything, Olivia's hidden talent stood as her most formidable asset, a distinctive fusion of insight, expertise, and an intrinsic bond with each engine she engaged with. This revelation extended beyond mere mechanical repairs. It was about grasping the fundamental nature of tackling challenges and unwavering determination. The crew was left in awe, while her competitors were utterly perplexed by the force she wielded. This hidden truth would illuminate her path during the bleakest times, steering her toward a future she was just starting to envision. As the sun dipped below the horizon, illuminating the garage with a warm glow and stretching shadows, Olivia lingered by the window, her gaze brimming with resolve and optimism. The path before her was shrouded in ambiguity, laden with challenges that would challenge her resolve and prowess. However, one thing stood out distinctly: she was prepared. The mechanic's daughter evolved into a figure of leadership, a trailblazer, and a source of inspiration. The narrative was just beginning, and each pulse resonated with the assurance of remarkable events ahead. The upcoming chapter promises to unveil the extent of Olivia's journey and the profound impact her hidden truth will have on the world surrounding her. The team, the competitors, and the whole community were on the brink of experiencing a change that would be impossible to overlook. The young mechanic emerged as a pivotal figure, destined to transform the future of the trade indefinitely. The last leg proved to be the most challenging of all. Olivia Turner found herself at a pivotal junction, where each choice resonated with significance that extended far beyond the confines of the garage. The adversary's unyielding assaults had intensified, disseminating falsehoods that jeopardized the hard-earned reputation she had forged through toil and resolve. Yet Olivia was familiar with obstacles. She discovered at a young age that real resilience was found in confronting the tempest, rather than running away from it. Every morning, she gazed into the mirror and recognized not merely a mechanic's daughter, but a pioneer, poised to reshape the very fabric of the game. The revelation that had steered her through each daunting fix was no longer merely an instrument. It had transformed into her shield. This hidden truth emerged from a weathered journal bequeathed by her grandfather, a figure renowned for his legendary enthusiasm for engines. It was brimming with elaborate illustrations annotations on unorthodox techniques, and perspectives that transcended standard educational materials. Olivia devoted countless years to unraveling these pages, revealing wisdom that had faded into obscurity. This insight enabled her to engage with each engine not merely as a mechanical object, but as a vibrant enigma, where every component communicated in a dialect that only she could decipher. Armed with this ability, she crafted a strategy to face her adversaries directly, not fueled by rage or resentment, but by remarkable talent and creativity. Olivia summoned the most discerning observers to experience a live showcase of her talents, assured that her performance would quell skepticism far more effectively than mere words. The moment of truth had come. The garage buzzed with a crowd of customers, journalists, and even rivals, all keen to witness whether the young woman could genuinely embody the legend. Olivia revealed a project that stood apart from the rest, a vintage engine meticulously reconstructed, with precision and enhancements that fused traditional craftsmanship with modern technology. As she toiled, her hands glided gracefully, akin to a dance with the engine's components, each modification precise and intentional. The audience stood in hushed anticipation as the engine sprang to life, its roar a commanding melody that resonated throughout the garage. This was more than a mere fix. It was a transformation. The rival garage's efforts to undermine her collapsed. In a spectacular fashion, Olivia's integrity and mastery radiated with unparalleled brilliance, garnering admiration from even the most critical skeptics. The media coverage surged, highlighting a narrative of determination, creativity, and the dismantling of obstacles that struck a chord with many viewers. Olivia Turner had transcended her identity as merely a mechanic's daughter. She had become a trailblazer, reshaping the story of what could be achieved. Yet Olivia's determination did not waver. She harnessed her newfound influence to forge pathways for others like herself, young women and men from varied backgrounds, who possessed the talent, yet were deprived of the opportunity. The garage transformed into a symbol of aspiration and transformation, a space where ambitions flourished and limits were broken. Olivia's journey motivated many to have faith in their abilities and chase their dreams with bravery. In the stillness, Olivia frequently reminisced about the day her father challenged her to ignite the lifeless engine. The challenge ignited a passion that reshaped her existence and impacted countless lives. It served as a reminder that often, the most significant challenges pave the way for the most remarkable adventures. As this chapter came to a close, anticipation filled the air for what Olivia Turner would achieve next. Her journey was more than a story of engines and mechanics. It stood as a tribute to perseverance, creativity, and the strength found in self-belief. Amidst challenges, this was a legacy in the making, destined to inspire future generations, serving as a reminder that no engine is truly impossible to ignite when driven by passion and heart.